This is HFK Presents 5 Minutes of History.
Terry Lynch.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Good, so did I. But as you can see, I'm on to my next holiday, Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. That's because I get to portray one of my favorite characters of all, St. Nicholas. He has so many wonderful stories that my wife and I put them together in a book called Nicholas Comes to America, The Story of Santa Claus. And over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to tell you some of those stories out of this book. And I'd like to start with the beginning of it all. Nicholas was an actual man who was born back in the 3rd century in a small town called Patara. Eventually he moved on to the town of Myra. Now those towns are located in what is present-day Turkey. The story I want to tell you about is how he became known as the giver of gifts and the protector of children. When Nicholas was bishop, he wanted to show people how to live a good lifestyle. Look, basically, do as I do instead of do as I say. This story has to do with a man who had 3 daughters that wanted to be wed. Now the oldest daughter was to be married, but the man had no money. Now in those days you needed to have money to give along with your daughter's hand in marriage. This was called a dowry. Because he had no money for the dowry, the man decided he'd sell her into slavery and use that money for the other 2 daughters. The night before she was to be sold into slavery, Nicholas found out. What he did was take some of his own money, put it into a handkerchief, tie it up in a ball, and sneak to the man's house in the dead of night. Then he threw the money through a window, and in the morning the man found the money and was able to save his daughter from slavery and use that money for her dowry. He went throughout the town looking to see who had done this good deed, and no one would admit to it, not even St. Nicholas. Time goes by and the 2nd daughter wants to be married, and again the man has no money. So again he thinks selling her into slavery will at least give him the money for the 3rd daughter's dowry. When Nicholas hears of this, he again takes his own money, puts it into a handkerchief, waits for nightfall, sneaks to the man's house and throws the money through the window, totally unseen. In the morning the man wakes up, finds the money, and the 2nd daughter is saved from slavery. He again looks throughout town and nobody admits to this, not even Nicholas. You're pretty smart, you know where this is going. 3rd daughter wants to be married, and again the man has no money, so he's going to sell her into slavery. Again Nicholas finds out and wants to save the girl. So the night before the wedding, he takes more of his money, puts it into a handkerchief, and sneaks to the man's house to throw through the window. Only this time, the man is hiding in the bushes and finds him and says, "St. Nicholas, Bishop Nicholas I should say, I want to tell the world what a great deed you did." And Bishop Nicholas says, "If you really want to make me happy, tell no one of what has occurred here. Just do good deeds like I did, expecting nothing in return. If you do that, you will be rewarded tenfold, and I will be very happy. Now the time will come when I say it's okay, and you will be able to tell people what I did for you." So that's what the man did. Does this sound familiar? A man sneaking around in the dead of night, leaving gifts for children, unseen? Ah, you know where I'm going. That's how the legend of St. Nicholas began, as the giver of gift and the protector of children. That's just the first in many stories that I'm going to tell you over the next couple of weeks. But because our time is growing short, speaking of time, I almost forgot. It's time for trivia. And today's trivia has to do with the symbol of St. Nicholas. Many of you may have seen images of St. Nicholas or paintings along the way. Those images often have him dressed as a bishop, which is appropriate, and holding 3 gold balls. Why 3 gold balls, you say? Because those 3 gold balls represent the 3 bags of coins that Nicholas threw through the window to protect those daughters from being sold into slavery. So that's our trivia for today. Now you know. Oh, do you hear that? It can't be. It is. It's Horatio the town crier on his sleigh. Oh, Horatio, thank you very much. And a Merry Christmas to you as well. Wow, we are very festive. Horatio has brought us this week's question, and it comes from Connie in Richmond, Virginia. Connie asks, why do we hang stockings at Christmas time? Good questions, Connie. I'll tell you why we hang those stockings at Christmas time. And for those of you that have been listening, this is really important. Those stockings, they represent something else that has to do with the story I just told you. Remember how I said Nicholas threw those bags of gold through the window? Many people claim that those bags of gold landed in stockings warming by the fireplace. And that is why we now put out stockings on the fireplace waiting for Nicholas to leave presents in them. Small things like oranges, apples, chocolate coins, little gifts, little toys at the very top. Most of them have symbols that represent different things about Nicholas's life. All of that's told within my book. So that is our question for the day. Well, it's a special time of year, so we decided we're going to put a special segment inside of our shows this month. And it's going to be a countdown to Christmas. And we're going to do it with this Advent calendar. I'll start with the beginning of the month right here down at the bottom of this tree. Yes, only what, 24 more to go? Listen, I've got a couple seconds, so I'm going to explain to you something about the Advent calendar. It was invented by a German boy back in the 19th century. His name was Gerhard Lang. Gerhard Lang and his mother wanted to count down to Christmas. So they taped pieces of candy on a calendar, and each day took a piece of candy off, making their way up to Christmas itself. When Gerhard got older, he made Advent calendars for other people. It became such a popular tradition that's used worldwide nowadays. And as you'll see, many of our traditions come from Germany that have to do with Christmas. We're going to count down ourselves here, and next week we'll get even closer to Christmas. As a matter of fact, it'll be the Feast of St. Nicholas. I bet you I've got some good stories for that day, huh? Yes, indeed. Now listen, that's a little side note for you here. Don't forget, I'm still available for dates in 2011. And not just St. Nicholas, but many of my other characters as well, along with that college presentation for Mistakes Happen. Now, before I leave, I'm going to remind you one last time about the book my wife and I wrote called Nicholas Comes to America, The Story of Santa Claus. Do you know where you can get this? On our website, hfkpresents.com, or just go to amazon.com. Put in the title or our name. You'll find it there as well. Until next time, this is Terry Lynch, your host of HFK Presents 5 Minutes of History, saying, watch out, history happens when you least expect it.